So December's winding down, it's almost the end of the year, and because of that, I thought my sneaker pickups were kind of done for 2020. Little did I know that in the last couple days of December, I would get one of my most insane and rarest grails that I've ever owned. I know that sounds like I'm exaggerating, but I'm absolutely not. This is one of the craziest pickups I've ever had. What's up, everybody? I'm Seth Fowler, and inside this box is a $5,000 sneaker. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't yet, and also make sure to give me a follow on Instagram and on Twitter at @RealSethFowler. But before we actually jump into this absolutely insane unboxing, I want to give a huge thank you to today's sponsor and also the people that made this unboxing possible, and that's Farfetch. Farfetch is by far my favorite place to buy luxury, high-end, and designer goods, and I also grab sneakers from there as well because they've got an insane selection. In fact, the sneaker that we're unboxing in today's video I actually bought at Stadium Goods through Farfetch, and that's because Farfetch actually acquired Stadium Goods back in 2018. Not only that, but if you buy your sneakers through Farfetch, you actually have 14 days to return your sneakers, no matter what they are, and even if they came from Stadium Goods. And what's even better, if you use my code 10SethFF, you get 10% off your first order on select items. And of course, all of the sneakers that you buy through Farfetch are guaranteed to be authentic because they're authenticated by Stadium Goods in person. And especially when it comes to a shoe like this where I spend so much money on it, I want to make sure that the shoe that I'm getting is real. But aside from sneakers, something that I really personally love about Farfetch is that they support small businesses. With everything going on in the world right now, it's really important to have an online presence because people can't really walk into stores like they used to. And what I love about Farfetch is that they give smaller boutiques that just don't have an online presence a way to sell their products online all around the world. So whether you want to support smaller boutiques all around the world or just get an insane selection on all the items that you could ever want, Farfetch is the place to go. And like I said before, if you'd like to check out Farfetch for yourself, which I definitely recommend, make sure to click the link in the description below and use my code 10SethFF for 10% off your first Farfetch order. But a huge thank you as always to Farfetch for sponsoring today's video. They've been a long-time supporter of the channel and I genuinely love their store and what they do. But now I think it's time to bust into this box and find out what crazy grail is inside. And believe me, I've been trying not to open this box for the last day and a half that this box has been here. It's been one of the hardest things I've ever done. That sounds a little bit dramatic, but once you see the sneaker inside, you'll get it. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm usually not the most careful when it comes to cutting open the top of shipping boxes, but for this shoe, I want to make sure that the shoe box inside is in literally the best condition possible. So I will be as careful as I've ever been because I think all my other crazy grails that I've gotten in person. I know the Off-Whites I got in person and the Tokios. Yeah, I think I got those all in person. So I never had to do this for a crazy $5,000 grail, but let's just go for it. Feels like Christmas all over again. I know Christmas was 2 days ago, but this is sneakerhead Christmas right here. Gotta be really careful with this part. Trying to lift the top of the box off of the, oof, this FedEx tag is gonna be a problem. Getting nervous. Oh man, this is crazy. Okay, so here's the top of the box. For those of you that know, you know. For those of you that don't, it kinda looks like a standard Nike box. I mean, it is kind of a standard Nike box, but okay, so let me try and get this out as carefully as possible. There we go. This is nuts. I can't believe this. So if you guys have any guesses as to what this pair of shoes is, make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. And don't cheat. You can sort of sub-comment underneath your first comment just to let everyone know if you're right or not. I don't want to show you guys the tag because that will 100% give it away. This is crazy. It's in my size too. I never thought I'd have this shoe, let alone in my size, because usually when I get crazy grails, they're not in my size. I just get whatever one I can get. Now to be honest, if it's not my size, I don't usually end up keeping it. But in this case, this is going to be one that's staying in my collection forever. Let me double check to see if there's a receipt in the box. There is, okay. Pull that out first. You got a nice little Farfetch receipt in the box. You can return this shoe for up to 14 days if you'd like. I absolutely will not be returning it. No chance. Let's get a quick peek. Oh, no way. Oh, man. I knew it was going to be. But I mean, seeing it in person is even crazier. I'm going to try not to spit on it with excitement, okay? That's, man. Okay, I'm just gonna show you guys what it is. Here we go. This is the most money I've ever spent on a sneaker ever. No question. And I'm in love with it. So if you're not aware, this is a dead stock, size 9, Nike Air Yeezy 1 Zen Gray. This is Kanye West's very first shoe with Nike. The very first colorway, the first style, everything. And as I'm sure a lot of you guys know, this is the very first non-athlete Nike signature sneaker. Kanye West was the very first non-athlete to get a signature Nike shoe. So this shoe is historic for a lot of different reasons. And I can't believe I have a brand new pair in my possession right now with a box, which by the way is in ridiculously good condition. I shouldn't be holding it like this. This box is like clean AF. I kind of want to put the box in a box, to be honest with you. So the Zen Grey Nike Air Yeezys, first released in 2009, which is actually 2 years after Kanye signed with Nike back in 2007. And the reason it took so long for this shoe to come out is because Kanye's a perfectionist. And even though this shoe is sort of a mashup of a couple different Jordan models and of course some new styling, it really took a long time to develop. And I'm sure you've seen articles of all the different prototypes of the Nike Air Yeezy 1 that have been out. There's tons of different colors. There's tons of different like variations on the style. It's just one of those shoes that has like, I wouldn't say hundreds, but definitely dozens of samples. And when I say dozens of samples, I don't mean dozens of pairs, I mean dozens of different kinds of samples. And the Zen Grey was the very first colorway of the shoe to release. Like, this is the very first Nike Yeezy to release, and I'm holding it. Like, it's mine. This is so crazy. Of course, because I bought it from Stadium Goods through Farfetch, it's got a Stadium Goods authenticity tag just to prove that they actually checked over the sneaker and that it is in fact authentic. So the upper of the shoe actually comes in full grain leather, and it's honestly some of the softest leather I've ever felt on a Nike sneaker. Ever. I mean, it's crazy. And I've heard from a lot of different people that this is some of the best leather ever used on a Nike sneaker, and they haven't ever used leather like this since, which is sad for sure. But I mean, I have one of the shoes that uses leather, so you know, sucks for you guys. I know there's probably some people watching who either weren't alive when the shoe came out, which is crazy to me, but also might not have been into sneakers at the time or were too young to be into sneakers, and they only really know the Adidas Yeezys. And as nice as those Adidas Yeezys are, this just feels so much more premium. And this is like, I mean, this is what everyone drooled over for decades. I mean, people still drool over this shoe. This is literally a grail. This is literally one of the most iconic sneakers of all time. So when Kanye came to Nike, he was a huge Jordan fan. And of course, I think he's still a huge Jordan fan to this day, but can't really say it because he signed with Adidas. But Kanye really wanted this shoe to have a very retro feel to it. Like, he wanted the shoe to look like a retro Air Jordan. And obviously the shoe is a brand new Nike silhouette. Like, the Nike Air Yeezy is its own silhouette, but there are details that are taken from Jordans. Like, for example, the midsole and outsole are taken from an Air Jordan 3. They are slightly adjusted, so they're not exactly the same, but they're very, very similar. The mudguard is heavily inspired by the Air Jordan 3's elephant print. Of course, it's not actually elephant print, it's a bunch of little Ys for Yeezy, sort of pressed into the material, which I think looks incredible. There are some other details, like the tongue. Apparently the length is taken from the Air Jordan 6. It also kind of looks like it's in the shape of the Air Jordan 5's tongue. I mean, there's a lot of details about this shoe that are obviously inspired by Air Jordans. But in my opinion, one of the most iconic details of this shoe, and pretty much every other high top Yeezy after this shoe, including the 750, is the midfoot strap. Now, I've actually never unvelcroed a Nike Air Yeezy strap. I know it sounds stupid to say, but it's true. And I'm just gonna do it now. I'm gonna try and not ruin the shoe. This is like, maybe I shouldn't do it. This is gonna make it in a fail compilation. I know it. I know it. Okay, here we go. Let's just do it. Okay, it wasn't that bad. I thought it'd be worse. And then the strap just falls off. So underneath the strap, you've got your standard lacing and your standard tongue. The upper is covered in this really nice sort of perforated leather. I love that look. And then the strap obviously comes in patent leather with more of these Yeezy Ys on it. Now I just need to re-velcro it perfectly so I never have to unvelcro it again. Another detail I absolutely love about this shoe is the lace lock on the tongue. You've got this Y-shaped lace lock, of course, for Yeezy, and then it's also got the word Yeezy written around it repeatedly. It's awesome. Every little detail on the shoe is just such a cool callback to Yeezy, to Kanye, and to Nike. Another detail which I absolutely love about this shoe is the fact that the word Yeezy is embroidered into the pull tab. That's such a cool hit and such an iconic hit. That's something I always think of when I think of this shoe. And the colorway too, this Zen Grey colorway is nuts. It comes in a pretty toned down, subtle, like tonal gray upper, which is accented of course by a bright orangey yellow sock liner, and then you've got pink on the back of the tongue, which is also on the Blink colorway, and the Blink colorway seems to be the most popular colorway out of all the original Yeezys. I actually don't know if that's still true. I think the Zen Greys might have caught up in popularity, or at least I'm just basing that off resale price. But I mean, that black, green, and pink colorway is just one of those iconic Kanye colorways. The insole of the shoe comes in an orange, and then the outsole of the shoe comes in a semi-translucent green and is also glow-in-the-dark. This is one of the first like really popular glow-in-the-dark sneakers, at least with Nike. And as you can see, because the shoe came out in 2009, it is yellowing slightly throughout the sneaker, but I don't really mind. There's not much you can do about it, and it's still DS, so I can sniff it like that. It just smells like a brand new shit. I probably shouldn't have done that. A friend of mine actually suggested doing a review series on like classic Grail sneakers or just Grail sneakers overall. If that's something that you guys would be interested in, let me know in the comment section down below. I'd obviously start with this shoe because this shoe's in my possession. This is one that I just can't believe I have. Now, some people might consider the Nike Air Yeezy 2 the more popular or the better of the Nike Air Yeezys, but I kind of disagree. I know it's a great sneaker. I love the heel of that shoe. I love the way it has the ripples in it. That's all fine. But there's something about this Air Yeezy 1 that just reminds me of like the 2000s and the early 2010s. There's a lot of nostalgia that comes off of this shoe. And just watching music videos and live performances of Kanye performing in this shoe is just like, it just brings back so many memories. That's like right when I was going off to college. You know, I was 18, everything seemed new and exciting, and it's just such a nostalgic feeling for me. This shoe is by far one of my favorite sneakers in my collection. I think it's like just below the Off-White Air Jordan 1s that were signed by Virgil. I think this is like the number 2 spot. Obviously, I still love those shoes, but the nostalgia that this shoe brings me and the fact that I've wanted this shoe for over a decade at this point makes this shoe just that much more special to me. But guys, that pretty much wraps up the unboxing for today. Let me know in the comment section down below if you would like to see a full review series on classic Grail sneakers. I'd love to do that, and if that's something you guys are interested in, I definitely will do that. Huge shout out once again to Farfetch for sponsoring today's video. If you guys would like to check out Farfetch for yourself and maybe grab a pair of Yeezys, make sure to click the link in the description below and use my code 10SethFF for 10% off your first purchase. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.